Hi, everyone, and welcome to our fall lead school here in 2021. I'm so excited to be here with you this weekend. I'm Corey Stopka, your Grand President. Thanks for attending as we have some amazing opportunities to share, learn, and celebrate today. We'll be meeting our board of directors and grand officers, hearing from our leadership foundation, having a keynote address on something that's on the top of many of our minds, finding greater mental health. We'll be learning more about our strategic priorities that will help guide us to success for the next 5 years and beyond. We'll be celebrating our national award winners. Special congratulations to our regional and provincial winners, as we have a lot to celebrate through all of your accomplishments after another year of interruptions where you kept persistent and positive. Our past Grand President, Tricia Smith, will close us out while sharing some updates on our future, and then we'll have an opportunity to connect after the formal event to build our brotherhood. Bringing unity through brotherhood while we continue to navigate uncertain times will be what allows us as Delta Sigs to thrive. I'm proud of all of you for giving of your time today to better yourselves, your chapters, and the fraternity as a whole. I understand and can empathize that your service to the fraternity comes at the same time as you're studying and taking midterms, working at internships or advancing your career, trying to be the best partner possible, or just helping out your family, and generally striving for success in the midst of living life in a time that's frankly full of difficulty and challenges. What us being here together represents is making a conscious choice to be present and actively listen, to be present to hear the communication from leaders to all of you as leaders, so all of you can share that you learned today with all those that you lead on a day-to-day basis. To be present simply to show support and strength for one another. Being present is more difficult on Zoom, I get that. Being together is what we all want and yearn for, and we will get there. For those that have only ever attended virtual Delta Sig events like this, I do not envy you, but I do admire you. I can't wait to have this togetherness and brotherhood in person so that those who haven't had the chance to feel brotherhood can do so and enhance your experience beyond what you've had already. What that experience is difficult to explain, but the feeling of being together with your brothers, sharing thoughts and ideas that lead to the betterment of others, a road trip with people that allows for amazing conversation and bonding, and the ability to have more than one conversation in a room at the same time. You can find cool sites or restaurants along the way to a new city, meeting people that you've never thought you would ever meet before, and developing lifelong friends that may even be in your wedding. And then traveling back home after that experience with so much more excitement and energy than when you came, not realizing that you're living some of your best life right now. That's what a Delta Sig event feels like. I can't wait to share that feeling with all of you again. Well, how do we get there? Well, we want to make sure everyone is safe and comfortable in doing so. And in order to get there, I ask that all those with the means to help our collegiate chapters by donating to their chapter leadership funds, participate and become an ambassador in the upcoming Foundation's Founders Day Challenge, and reach out to connect with people to share your experiences so they can feel what a brotherhood feels like at national events. We also cannot forget all the lessons learned and all of the great ideas and tools that have come from a challenge none of us could have prepared for. Those lessons will make us better as we move forward and continue to build Delta Sigma Pi into an organization that withstands the test of time and continues to be the premier fraternity. The way in which all of you have adapted and conquered new ways to communicate and share your ideas across boundaries has been inspiring. You'll hear more later today about our strategic priorities and some of the progress we've had since GCC, but I do want to emphasize that we have created these priorities by looking through the lenses of all stakeholders and shaping the right path forward for our brothers. We have 4 main priorities: member education, membership growth, membership engagement, and organizational excellence. At the core base of each of these is the purpose of Delta Sigma Pi, our governance structure and process, the leadership foundation, which is a great partner as they provide the financial support for our educational programming in diversity, equity, and inclusion, where we are committed to a welcoming, inclusive place of prosperity for all members. There's much more to communicate later today and into the future on all of these topics. Some of those communications from this week you can already see as formal announcements this past week of our national committee members and chairs and how they are sharing some of their charges that they've been addressed to attack and have them build their committees You'll also see the September board meeting minutes and seconds, which includes an update on DEI, which you'll be hearing more about in the coming weeks, along with a way to share your interest in volunteering. We're always looking to build the bench, so let us know what your passion is and how you want to serve. Each of you can stay connected in a variety of ways to learn these updates and find past resources and more. As always, DSP.org is a great place to start your view of all things DSP, from online resources to a way to submit ideas directly to me, or share who you'd like to nominate for the Career Achievement Award. You can view board meeting minutes, news updates, and utilize the many resources available to you. Also connect this weekend through the hashtag DSPLead, and at any time, follow the many social media platforms where we provide nearly daily updates. Some of those updates will include sharing the exciting benefits of attending the next special Grand Chapter Congress in Cleveland in July next year, the 13th through the 17th. One of the things that you can do now in advance of GCC, beyond staying connected with all those communications, is to collect 1 million pop tabs and donate them to your local Ronald McDonald House. Those donations by chapters can be submitted in the hub, and individuals can be tracked by emailing communityservice@dsp.org. All those donations will be tracked by province, and the province that collects the most will be celebrated, along with a celebration with Ronald McDonald House Charities for having such an impact by all Delta Sigs. Before we continue with the program, I have what many of you have been eagerly awaiting, which is that bonus code for the day that's offered for your attendance and can be entered on the Delta Sig Learn and Lead app. If you haven't already downloaded that, go to the App Store and download that. And then for those that have downloaded it and those that will, there's a lot of great resources on there. But the code for today is virtual. Once again, the code for today is virtual. Okay, now since you don't get to see us in person at national events or chapter meetings right now, we wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to some of the people that are here to support and lead you so that you can feel comfortable reaching out to all of us with your questions. Thanks for joining today, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the program. Hello, and welcome to the 2021 Virtual Lead School. I'm Corey Stopka, your Grand President, coming to you from Minnesota, where I live with my wife, Anna, and our son, Finn. Lead events are designed for collegiate and alumni members, as well as pledges, colony members, and other friends and guests of Delta Sigma Pi. Lead schools are fun and fast-paced forums for building skills that serve you well in your professional life, community involvement, and membership in Delta Sigma Pi. And while I hope our next round of lead schools are in person next fall, I hope you enjoy today's experience. Before we get into the program, I would like to introduce you to the rest of the board of directors and regional vice presidents.
Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Tricia Smith, your most recent past Grand President. Welcome to our second and hopefully last virtual lead school. I am from the Cleveland, Ohio area, so I am really excited to have everyone in Cleveland, Ohio for our 2022 Grand Chapter Congress next summer. And I am so excited for us to get back to in-person leads and events again. So I've got to say, some of my favorite things about being at a lead school is the networking that I see in the hallways between the sessions, the excited faces, and being able to meet new brothers, pledges, who are attending a lead school for the very first time.
Hi, everyone. It's Jody Show, your Vice President of Finance. I'm so excited for this year's lead school in many ways. A fun fact is I've attended over 55 leads as a brother. Fortunately, most of those leads have not been from my home in Chanhassen, Minnesota, like today. But whether we are in person or virtual, my favorite thing about lead is meeting new people and learning their Delta Sigma Pi journey.
Hi everyone, my name is Cody Bosquez, your 2020 National Collegiate of the Year. Now 2021 has been a very interesting year, but I always look forward to lead school because I get to connect with my fellow brothers. That's actually one of my favorite things about lead school. I'm originally from Midland, Texas, and I currently live in San Angelo, Texas. And an interesting fact about me is that I am a first-generation student, hopefully on track to get a doctoral degree in the next couple of years.
Hey everyone, welcome to another great lead school. My name is Brennan Fader, and it is an honor to be your 2021 National Collegian of the Year. An interesting fact about me is that I raise about 500 sulcata tortoises a year, and I'm originally from Tucson, Arizona, where I also attended university at the University of Arizona at the Gamma Psi chapter. My favorite thing about lead school is getting to network with other brothers and learn for best practices to institute at other chapters. Enjoy the rest of lead.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jeremy Levine, your interim executive director. While I miss us all being together and spending time talking to friends new and old, I know this is going to be a great lead.
Hi, and welcome, everyone. I'm Nicole Orlando, your North Central Provincial Vice President. I have been a brother for 25 years, and my favorite part of lead is meeting new collegiate and alumni brothers. Fun fact about me, I have lived and worked in 4 states, which include Illinois, Minnesota, Virginia, and California. I would like to introduce you to your North Central Regional Vice Presidents. Have a wonderful lead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Wells, and I am the current Central RVP.
Hi, I'm Zach Hansen, and I'm the Great Lakes Regional Vice President.
Hi, I'm Jody Dirks, and I'm your returning Great Plains Regional Vice President.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to LEAD. My name is Anna Trencha, and I'm your returning Huron Regional Vice President.
Hey there. This is Danielle Coleman, and I am the North Central Regional Vice President.
Hi, and welcome everyone. I'm Monica Monroe, your Northeastern Provincial Vice President, and I am so excited for you all to be attending our virtual LEAD this weekend. One thing I love about LEAD is the fact that we get to meet so many brothers we wouldn't have before and experience amazing opportunities to explore different cities and build our professional and fraternal networks. One cool fact about me is that I'm a pet mom of 2 African pygmy hedgehogs, Quilson and Vanellope, and we comfortably reside right outside of the DC metro area in Warrenton, Virginia. Now it is my honor to introduce to you your Northeastern Regional Vice Presidents. I hope you all have an amazing lead.
Hi, I'm Angela Costin-Jones, Eastern RVP.
How are you? I'm Charles Meeting, Empire RVP.
Hello, I'm Kenneth Wepler, your East Central RVP.
Hey y'all, Jen Huyn here, your returning New England RVP.
Hey everyone, it's Robert Fosdick, your Niagara RVP.
And I'm Patrick Monfrisco, your Steel Valley RVP.
Hey everyone, I'm Charlie Kinney. I'm your South Central Provincial Vice President, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. An interesting fact about me is I'm actually an artist. I've had my art displayed in galleries and even sold some of my art before. And my favorite part about LEAD is being able to travel to cities I've never been before and experience the city with my fellow Delta Sigs. And this November will be 10 years of me being part of Delta Sigma Pi. I would like to introduce you to your South Central Regional Vice Presidents. Have a great lead, everyone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joe Shaver, your Gateway Regional Vice President.
Hello, my name is Laura Binsbat, and I'm your Gulf South Regional Vice President.
Hi, I'm Gilbert Landris. I'm your returning Gulf Western Regional Vice President.
Hi, I'm Katie Whalen, and I am the Midwestern Regional Vice President.
Hi, my name is Sarah Casey, and I'm your Southwestern Regional Vice President.
Hello, I'm Mark Burnett, no longer your South Central Provincial Vice President. I am now your Tornado Alley RVP.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to LEAD. My name is Megan Hill. I am the new Southern Provincial Vice President. And one fun fact about me is that I'm a huge college sports fan. and I am a season ticket holder for football and both men's and women's basketball at Kennesaw State University.
Hello, my name is Trina Kirk, and I'm the returning Atlantic Coast Regional Vice President.
Hi, I'm Kyle Bischoff, and I'm your new Central Gulf Regional Vice President.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Fix, and I'm your new Mid-Atlantic Regional Vice President.
Hello, my name is Madison Whitehouse, and I am your returning Mid-South Regional Vice President.
Hi, I'm Ron Taylor, and I'm your new South Atlantic Regional Vice President.
Hi, I'm CJ Cook, and I'm your newly elected Southeastern Regional Vice President.
Hello and welcome everyone from the Western Province. I'm Erica Colstrud, your Western Provincial Vice President. A fun, interesting fact about myself, before I lived in California, I was actually a radio host for a top 40 radio station with my own show on the weekends. And I had brothers call in with requests from all over the country. It was a fun time. I have been a brother since 2004, and I am so excited to introduce you to the Western Regional Vice Presidents. Have a great lead.
Hello, hello. I am Mel Perazzo, back again as your Bay Area RVP.
Hi, everyone. I'm Grisel Rodriguez, and I'm your Desert Mountain Regional Vice President.
Hello, I'm Tim Beasley, your new Pacific Coast Regional Vice President.
Hello, I'm Sam Clark, your returning Pacific Northwest Regional Vice President.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nick Rizzi, your returning Rocky Mountain Regional Vice President.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cody Hammerdinger, back as your Sierra Nevada Regional Vice President.
Hello, everyone. I'm Luis Santos, your South Pacific Regional Vice President.
Hi, everybody. This is Jeremy Levine again. I want to welcome you once more to the 2021 Virtual Lead School. Thank you so much to everyone, and we hope you enjoy a great program and networking today.
Hello, I'm Janine Triplett, the Associate Executive Vice President of the Delta Sigma Pi Leadership Foundation. The Leadership Foundation is proud to support our keynote speaker for this LEAD conference. Before I introduce the speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the Delta Sig brothers who support the Leadership Foundation each year. I would like to also mention that this year, on November 7th and 8th, the Leadership Foundation will host our first Founders Day Challenge campaign. The goal of the campaign is to raise funds for not only the foundation, but also each collegiate chapter's leadership fund. This will be a great opportunity for each chapter to reach out to your alumni, friends, and families to raise money for your CLF. As you know, the chapter leadership funds are important as they provide our collegiate members with the resources needed to be part of the many leadership conferences and opportunities such as this LEAD conference. So now for our keynote speaker. The title of our keynote presentation is Finding Greater Mental Health Through Mindfulness, and is being presented by Marie Vicari Esquire. She is the founder of the Beneficial Element, a mindfulness and emotional intelligence consulting company. She has been practicing mindfulness for over 25 years and has worked with many organizations to support wellness and transformation through her unique mindfulness and emotional intelligence programs. She has worked for a variety of audiences, including Fortune 500 companies, small businesses, law firms, tax professionals, and nonprofit organizations. She is honored to be the creator and facilitator of the Rutgers Mindfulness Program, which supports frontline journalists who cover war stories, war zones, and natural disasters. Her favorite pastime is being out in nature with her 3 young daughters and husband. I now present Marie Vicari Esquire.
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen quickly. Okay. Thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here. I am very excited to share on this topic that is near and dear to my heart. Thank you for that wonderful, warm introduction as well. I won't spend too much time on me, especially given that lovely introduction. The only thing that I did want to mention is you can find out more about me and what I do at my website, beneficialelement.com. And I also just wanted to mention that with the variety of audiences that I've worked with on this topic, I can tell you that mental health and mindfulness has become now more important than ever. And to just sort of level set what we're going to be talking about today, it's this intersection of mental health and how mindfulness can help empower people to have greater mental health. We live in a very chaotic world, and it's now, more so than ever. I think probably in all of our lifetimes, this is the most chaotic that it's been. The military actually have a term for this, that we live in a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And that term was actually coined prior to the pandemic. So again, even more so today. When we talk about the stress and what we're dealing with day to day in just our personal lives, our relationships, our jobs, everything that we have going on emotionally. And then when we take that and compound it with the pandemic, with some of the social and racial injustices that have come to light, even, there's been light shed on it in the world today, it really does seem like everything is very overwhelming. And there's so much that we don't have control over. So what can we do? And this is why mindfulness is so important, because it empowers us with specific mental practices that can help us navigate this difficult landscape better. I will also say that unofficially what I've heard from some of the programs and the participants that I've been lucky enough to work with is that in the end, both at work and at home, it really helps us be better human beings. And I think we're all sort of searching for that as well. A lot of people have heard of mindfulness, and some people are very new to it. People that have heard of mindfulness often hear about a lot of the physiological benefits. This is actually a study, some of the statistics you see on your screen up here from a study that Aetna did with their employees. They put 50,000 of their employees through their mindfulness program. And while the physiological benefits are very impressive, what I really want to focus on from that perspective is actually I want to hone in on the neuroscience, what happens to our minds, particularly since the topic that we're dealing with in today's session is around mental health. So first, I just want to level set a little bit again about what mindfulness is, that buzzword. In the context of today, what we're going to be talking about, I really like this definition from Jon Kabat-Zinn. He's known as sort of the Western father of mindfulness. He does a lot of work in the healthcare arena. And he defines mindfulness as an awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And I realize that that is a very deep definition, and there's a lot going on there. So to distill down again in the time that we have, what this really means particularly is it enables a greater self-awareness and a greater awareness of how you interact with others. And when we're talking about mental health, that self-awareness piece is really key. And if that definition was too big, it's also just been defined as being present and being here now. That's also a sort of a lovely way to encapsulate what we're going to be talking about today. So why does this matter with mental health? When we think about our mental states, and when I mentioned all of the things that create this chaotic world with the pressures that we have, there's three things that can really actually kind of disable our the attention systems in our brain, and that's stress, threat, and poor mood. And when we think about our mental health and when we think about what we're going through day to day, particularly right now, what ends up happening is that oftentimes we are either ruminating about the past or worrying about the future. And this is actually what causes a lot of the mental strife that we're dealing with day to day. And so what mindfulness does is it gives you the tools necessary to better choose what you're paying attention to throughout the day. And when we think about how, I think all of us has probably experienced it, how we get dragged around and when we're on autopilot where, we were intending to be focusing on one thing or thinking about something or perhaps being present with our family. But, the stress and the worry and the mental health strife, again, kind of pulls us in these directions that we're not intending to. And it's almost as if we're being stressed about our stress, right? So really being able to choose what we pay attention to is almost a superpower in today's world, and it's really critical with mental health. I mentioned earlier that I would be talking about the neuroscience. I find this fascinating. If anybody else likes this topic, feel free to get in touch with me. I will try and do my best to give it justice in the short time that we have. But when we talk about mindfulness and what happens in the brain, it really hinges on a scientific foundation known as neuroplasticity. And many of you probably know what that is, but basically what neuroplasticity is, it's where we previously thought our brain regions to be fixed. We now know that with certain behaviors and exercises, we can actually change the physiology of our brain, which is pretty remarkable. So what does that mean? A good example of this is if you take somebody who has never juggled and you put them through a brain scan, and then you teach them how to juggle, and they've been juggling for a little while, and you put them back through the brain scan, the hand-eye area coordination of the brain is actually bigger. It has more gray matter associated with it. Likewise, I've never been in a London taxi, but part of their training is that they are well known and they need to know the entire map of the city, the alleyways, the one-ways, everything in their mind. So if you take somebody who's never studied or taken that test, they study, they take the test, they're driving for a while, and you put them through the brain scan, the visual mapping area of the brain is larger. And so I just kind of want to pause for a minute and let that sink in, because again, I think it's pretty remarkable that the behaviors that we do day to day and the mental exercises that we do can actually change that physiology. So from a mindfulness perspective, at a very high level, there's definitely nuanced applications and other areas of the brain with certain mindfulness practices that have been shown to be beneficially changed. But in the context of today, and the broad sort of areas are mindfulness exercises have been shown to help with attention control, emotional awareness and regulation, and self-awareness. And as I mentioned before, the attention control and the self-awareness are extremely important when we're thinking about our mental health, and again, empowering us with things that we can do on a daily basis to help improve our mental health. This slide is very busy. You don't need to worry about the words. I'm just going to explain it at a very high level. So what happens throughout the day is that on the left-hand side of your screen, number one, mind wandering, that's actually what scientists call our default mode network. And we've all experienced this. When we're quote unquote kind of just sitting there doing nothing, our minds wander. And in a stressed world, and oftentimes even when we're just even at a medium stress level, oftentimes, as I mentioned, our minds will wander to worrying about the future or ruminating about the past. Inevitably, we come to our favorite topic, which is me, right? I'm thinking about me in the past, or I'm worrying about the mistake I made, or what's going to happen tomorrow, things of that nature. And then I want to bring your attention down to the bottom, number 4, sustaining focus. That's what our mind looks like when we are actually focusing on something that we're intending to focus on. And so what happens is that we're focusing on something, inevitably our mind wanders, then we realize, oh, my mind has wandered. And then we bring our attention back to what we're focusing on. And this happens over and over throughout the day. So what is the way that we can kind of, again, focus on what we're intending to focus on longer? And what we can do is actually train our brain with a certain exercise that I'm going to do with you today. So it has many names, but one of the names is a focused attention training. And this is actually a much simpler diagram of that cycle that we just saw from the brain scan perspective. So in this particular training, we focus on something. Today, it's going to be our breath. And then inevitably, our mind is going to wander. And then we'll realize, oh, I'm doing it again. My mind has wandered. And then we're going to redirect our attention back to what we're focusing on, again, our breath. And I love this slide also because a lot of people that I talk to about mindfulness or meditation, they say, oh, I just can't do it. I'm bad at it. I can't just sit there and focus on one thing and clear my mind. Something inevitably pops up. And I love this slide because while that top part of the triangle there is important, it's actually not the only thing. It is this whole cycle. It is the focusing on something, having your mind wander and bringing it back that flexes that mental muscle, if you will, that allows you to get better at focusing on what you're intending to. And expert mindfulness practitioners, they're They have been shown to focus longer, but then also their baseline is more focused as well in their mind. So pretty fascinating stuff. And again, when we think about today's world and mental health, being able to notice when we've gotten stuck in the past or the future, or we're focusing on something that we don't have control over, bringing our attention back in a meaningful, direct way can make a world of difference throughout our day. So now for the fun part, we're gonna try it together. So for this particular exercise, in the spirit of being present, I invite you to put your phone down and kind of away where maybe you can't see it, of course, unless you have something urgent. And what we're gonna do also is put our bodies in a position to be conducive to this exercise. So what that means is finding a comfortable place where you're sitting, where you feel still, and also where you feel relaxed. So perhaps almost imagining creating space up the spine in between each vertebrae, but then also relaxing the shoulders, relaxing your jaw. And for this exercise, you are welcome to close your eyes. And if for some reason that doesn't feel right for you today, you can also take a soft, unfocused gaze down in front of you. But the idea is really just to eliminate the visual input coming into your brain. And so now just make some minor adjustments in your body so you can find that place of full stillness, perhaps relaxing your hands where they are. If there's any other areas of tension, relaxing that as well. And we'll begin this practice with 4 or 5 really deep, full, big breaths on your own. Seeing if you can make each breath deeper and fuller than the last. Nice and slow. And once those breaths are complete, just letting your breathing go back to its natural rhythm and cadence, sort of effortless flow. And just as a gentle reminder, you don't have to be anywhere else right now. You don't have to do anything else right now. Just breathe. And if there's any external distraction, just letting it flow through you. Notice it and then let it go. And also noticing where in your body you feel you're breathing the most. Perhaps it's your chest moving up and down. Perhaps it's your belly moving in and out. It could be the movement of air through the nose or the mouth. But wherever you feel your breath the most in your own body, almost gently collecting all of your attention and placing it there. Allowing your breathing to become your whole world right now. And if your mind has wandered, no problem. Just kindly bring it back to your breathing, remembering that's part of the process. And if the sound of my voice has caught you in an abstract thought, again, no problem. Returning all of your attention back to the sensation of the air coming into your body and back out. And taking one big, full, deep breath in and back out together. We will close this exercise, and you are welcome to open your eyes, return back to our session, taking your time. And just a gentle noticing now of how you feel right now versus before the exercise. Could feel the same, could feel very different. I know for me, I feel much more grounded and calm. I have 3 little girls, and Saturdays are always very busy. So I appreciated that. And one of the things I really like about this exercise is that, yes, it's been shown to help improve with our focus and attention. But I also really like that often, not always, it brings that that feeling of calm and clarity. I have a colleague who has a beautiful description of this practice, and she says that, throughout the day we're like snow globes, and our emotions, everything we have to do, our stress, those are like the snowflakes that get shaken up throughout the day. And when we take time to do these mental exercises, it lets the snow settle so we can see more clearly what's inside. And I love that analogy. Okay, so in addition to mindfulness being able to help, and that specific exercise being able to help us be more tuned to and better able to choose what we pay attention to, there's a wonderful layer of mindfulness as well that you can cultivate that helps you also become more aware of how you are paying attention in the moment. The UK Parliament actually have a very lengthy definition of mindfulness, but one of the things I really like about it is that it adds an element of curiosity and kindness. So being able to notice in the moment what you're paying attention to, but also, again, this element of how you're paying attention with curiosity and kindness. And I think that that's a really important thing to do. Oftentimes, we're our own worst enemies in terms of how we're paying attention, and we're not realizing that we're getting in our own way with our growth mindset. So in the spirit of sort of understanding and become more aware of how we're paying attention, there's actually a poem that I wanted to read that I think encapsulates this idea very well. I also really love it because we just did an exercise where we're focusing on our breath, and that's referenced in the poem. And the poem is called Wage Peace by Judith Hill. Wage peace with your breath. Breathe in firemen and rubble. Breathe out whole buildings and flocks of red-winged blackbirds. Breathe in terrorists and breathe out sleeping children and freshly mown fields. Breathe in confusion and breathe out maple trees. Breathe in the fallen and breathe out lifelong friendships intact. Wage peace with your listening, hearing sirens, wish them well. Remember your tools, flower seeds, clothespins, clean rivers. Make soup, play music, memorize the word for thank you in 3 languages. Learn to knit and make a hat. Think of chaos as dancing raspberries. Imagine grief as the outbreath of beauty, or the gesture of fish. Swim for the other side. Wage peace. Never has the world seemed so fresh and so precious. And again, that poem was by Judith Hill called Wage Peace. So when we talk about setting these intentions throughout our day and using mindfulness to really take time in our day of, yes, there's all these things that we have to get done and we're in this doing state, is to just also remember to take time to intentionally think about how you're being and how you're paying attention. Taking time to do some of these exercises like the one we just did to help train your brain a little bit better and to take a break and reset and refresh. It's so important with mental health. There's a lot of other mindfulness applications that I do want to mention. We just kind of hit the tip of the iceberg. If any of these are interesting, again, feel free to reach out. But I do think that some of these also really help cultivate mental health. So for example, being able to cultivate empathy or grow your compassion, particularly with with a lot of what we have going on in the world and in the workplace right now, I think it's now more important than ever. Being able to manage yourself through change, cultivating resilience is so important for mental health as well. Stress management, there's specific exercises, mental exercises and practices for this. In addition to that, there's sort of these integrated practices that we can do throughout the day. So basically what that means is it's doing things that we're already doing, eating, walking, but doing them in a more mindful way. And again, if any of that is of interest or you'd like to know more about that, you're welcome to come find me after. So that is what I had for today. I would love to leave a little bit of time for questions. I think that you can submit them through the Q&A. I'm unable to see the chat. You are also more than welcome to, if you'd like to connect, my contact information is up here. And I believe, I'm not sure how we are on time, Shonda, if that was.
We're good. I will be happy to take a look at questions here. How long, how often do you believe completing mindfulness exercises like this would be most beneficial? Better to take multiple short mindfulness breaks or do them in larger blocks? I know things like work, kids, etc., can make it more difficult to find long periods of time for breathing exercises or meditation.
Yes, it's an excellent question. So I'll give from a scientific perspective, short daily doses do make a difference. But I also will just this is such an experiential exercise. So I would say do what works for you. If it's, I too have a really busy schedules, it's really packed. I do find that even if I just take 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes a day, it can make a difference. From a stress management perspective, I can tell you that we all have to breathe anyway. So even if we're not closing our eyes and taking time out, setting a timer, or a lot of people have Fitbits or smartwatches now, to just remember, as we're driving or sending that email or, brushing the kids around, just take deep breaths while you're doing that. If it's physically possible, it's so good for you, and it actually can change the physiology of stress on your nervous system. It moves your nervous system from a sort of the more stress state to a more rest and digest, relaxed state. Again, if you can't take the time out to do one of those exercises, just that one thing of deep breathing while you're doing your other things can really help. And just notice what feels good for you, what the difference that you see.
Great, thank you. Another question, as business majors, do you have any advice for starting a career in this industry?
Oh yes, I like to say I'm a recovering attorney, and then I was in the corporate world for 15 years, so I'm very familiar with that transition. I would say really just take the time to practice it yourself and embody it and get to know it. There's some wonderful institutions out there that actually offer a more formal training. I know that I think it's NYU now has something called the Inner MBA, where you can, I think it's a year-long program. I did a lot of my training through Search Inside Yourself Leadership Institute, which was a leadership institute born from Google's program. That one was so popular in-house that the engineer that created it co-founded an external leadership institute. So just getting the training and the necessary things, and if you're passionate about it, I'm happy to talk more on that. But I think the number one thing you can do, particularly through school, is make it your own practice.
Great. Looks like we have a couple more questions, which will be just about the right amount of time. Do you have any recommended mindfulness apps?
I do. So I'm happy to say that I am on Insight Timer, and my meditations are being loaded on that one. I love Insight Timer because it's free. I mean, there are some paid classes, but just the meditations are free, and there's wonderful teachers on there. It's called Insight Timer. There's also one called Smart Habit, which I'm actually also an expert on, their panel. And that one I think you have to pay for, but those are good for short meditations and other mental habits. And then the last one I'll mention that a lot of people like is Headspace. You have to pay for that one also, I believe. But that one is good for, I think, beginners as well.
Super. Do you think there is less of a stigma for mental health than before? Is there still work to be done to understand mental health and illnesses?
Very good questions. And I do think that there's less of a stigma because people are standing up a lot more, particularly through the pandemic. And I think that it's been an issue where in the business world, organizations are being more and more, it's a tipping of the hand where wellness and well-being used to be sort of icing on the cake, and now it's imperative, it's mission critical. So for that reason, I do think that there's a little less of a stigma. I do also, unfortunately, think there still is a lot of stigma out there, and people need to continue to talk about it and do the work. And I think the more people that stand up and say something, the better that gets. There's also certain industries, like the journalists I work with, where they still kind of wear their stress as a badge almost. So getting over those cultural and industry biases as well is really important. And there's absolutely so much work to be done to understand mental health and illnesses, 100%. I think science has come a long way, but I think so much more needs to happen. So that's a very good question.
Great. One more came in and we're going to squeeze it in. What are your favorite ways to practice mindfulness?
Oh gosh, so many.
That's a tough one.
Wrote that, Perry, feel free to email me and I will give you a more robust answer. But one of the things I really like to do is mindful walking. So when I'm out in nature, or if I'm just walking around for work, just being really present, because so often we get from one place to another and we're like, how did I get here? You're not even conscious of how you got there. So feeling your feet on the ground, feeling your bones move, noticing what's around you with your senses. There's also a lovely meditation. It's known as an open awareness that allows you to, basically the meditation, instead of being turned towards your breath like we did, it's turned towards orienting your senses and noticing what's around you. Of course, one of my absolute favorites is also being out in nature. So if you're a nature person, there's a lot of research around nature bathing and the awe of nature that actually helps you be present.
Great. And several more questions come in, but in order to keep the program on time today, I know that you had indicated you would respond to some of those independently.
Absolutely.
Everyone, you are welcome to email. All of her information for Amory is listed on this slide. If you haven't yet, maybe take a screenshot of it if you didn't write it down, and feel free to reach out to her with other questions. She was very kind to let me know that she would be happy to do follow-up after the event if you had more questions at that time. So thank you so much for your time today, being with us. And we're going to move on to the rest of our program and let you go see your little girls in their diving competition. So go enjoy that.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure.
Thanks. All right. Let's make her slide go away. All right. Well, hello, everybody. And thank you again to Amory for the great message, things that all of us need to understand more and, in this ever-changing environment, and for our friends and ourselves. I am Shanda Gray. I'm the Associate Executive Director of Education and Events. I wanted to let you know I just returned from Cleveland this week, where plans are developing for an amazing special in-person Grand Chapter Congress for next July. Yes, that is July of 2022, an even numbered year. So make sure to get that on your calendar if it's not already. And then we'll return to our regular Congress programming in 2023, the odd year, as we head to Houston. So lots of great Congresses coming up, but the special one in 2022 that essentially replaced the loss of our in-person event this year. So be sure to check out dsp.org for details about Cleveland, and you can book your hotel room now. That went live this week. Registration is also in development and will be available later this fall. So keep an eye open, and once it's available, we'll make sure to get that promoted to folks. From the introductions before the keynote, there was one region in the Northeastern province that was not introduced as the role was vacant during video creation. But I do want to note that we have recently appointed an interim Capital Regional Vice President. So welcome to Noelle Miller for that role. And sorry about the black bar that appeared in that video. It wasn't there the 77 other times that we have watched it and tested it, but that's technology in the world of webinars and virtual events. So you've heard about, and we'll hear more about, the upcoming 2022 LEAD provincial conferences that are planned to be in person in February and March of next year. So registration is being finalized and will be available very soon. So keep an eye out on that on the website, and be sure to register by the early December deadline for special savings. And we'll be sure to provide you with information on that once registration is live. Hotel reservations can be made now. So that is all on the website. So we do realize that webinars like this are not as interactive, and you don't get to chat with everyone, and you can't apparently today, for some reason, even see the list of all the attendees. We have had over 500 attending today so far. And I know many of them are in a shared environment with more people in the room than just one. So fantastic participation. We do hope you will get to join us, though, again at 3:45 Eastern time today for the interactive networking. That will give you a chance to talk with and interact with other Delta SIGs from around the country, possibly around the world. The Zoom link for that activity that starts again at 3:45 Eastern was in your email confirmation. It's not the same as the webinar Zoom that you are in right now. But now let's continue with our virtual lead school, where we do have more than 500 viewers, and we're going to share some information about Delta SIG strategic priorities, followed by national awards, which is always very exciting, and more. So let's kick off the strategic priorities. And thanks again for joining us today.
You may recall that at Grand Chapter Congress, I was joined by now past Grand Presidents Tricia Smith and Anuka Ibe, as well as last biennium's Organizational Development Committee Chair Lisa Brown, to discuss the great successes and outcomes from our 2016 to 2021 strategic priorities. As part of that, we introduced you to the strategic vision for the next 5 years. Today, with the help of this biennium's Organizational Development Committee Chair, Crystal Justice, we want to take that discussion further and discuss how we can all work together to achieve a higher standard on our path towards 2026.
The Board of Directors have set a vision for what Delta Sigma Pi can achieve by 2026, but it will take the work of all brothers at all levels to reach these lofty goals. You may be thinking, what can I do? I'm just one person. The answer is lots. The goals were specifically designed with full membership participation in mind.
Soon, an interactive dashboard will become available on dsp.org that will allow you to track our progress nationally, as well as allow you to see how your province, your region, and even your chapter is playing a role in supporting our strategic priorities.
In the meantime, there are some simple things you can do to help us reach our goals. In fact, you being here today is already helping. One of our goals is to increase the number of learners participating in our educational programming. such as webinars and in-person events. Have you put the spring leads on your calendar yet? If you've ever been to an in-person lead before, share your experience with other brothers and encourage them to join you at your local lead this spring. If you're a volunteer leader or chapter officer, have you completed your respective officer trainings? Whether that's becoming a certified Delta Sig leader or completing a chapter officer training module. Completing these trainings will help us reach our goal of 95% participation.
If you're a student or recent grad, do you have friends studying business at another university? Perhaps one we don't even have a chapter at yet. If you're an alum, do you live near a school that would be a great host for a new chapter? Sometimes all it takes to start a new chapter is a connection to the right person. Who do you know that may be that person and can help us reach our goal of opening 30 new chapters before 2026? Even if expansion isn't your thing, every brother can help us reach our goal of increasing collegiate membership by 10%. Whether helping a local chapter with recruitment, encouraging a collegiate student you know to learn more, or even just making sure the world knows you are proud to be a Delta Sig, growth is in all of our hands.
Are you an alumni member? Congrats. You're already helping us reach our member engagement goals just by being here today. But think back to your time in college. Is there someone from your chapter that hasn't engaged with Delta Sig for a while? Give them a call, remind them of those great Delta Sig memories, and bring them to the next alumni event. If you're a collegiate, what's your post-graduation plan? Talk to your district director or regional vice president about how you want to stay involved, or go to dsp.org/get-involved to fill out the volunteer interest form.
The last area of our strategic priorities is organizational excellence, which can certainly mean something different to each of us. Whether working with your chapters to meet a standard like CMP and membership or financial requirements, or developing new fundraising opportunities for different chapters, the opportunities here are plentiful. For alumni, maybe the company you work for would benefit from a corporate partnership, or maybe you are able to make a donation to the Leadership Foundation. Whatever the approach, together we will strengthen our infrastructure to support all of these great priorities.
And do you have your own ideas on how the fraternity can reach these great goals? If so, send us an email to ideas@dsp.org and share with us those great ideas. We're all in this together, and Jeremy and I look forward to working with the board, committees, staff, and leadership teams at all levels to help Delta Sigma Pi achieve great things.
Speaking of achieving great things, it is now time to recognize some truly outstanding chapters and individuals with the announcement of our national award winners.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Delta Sigma Pi's National Awards presentation. I'm your Grand President, Corey Stopka.
And I'm your past Grand President, Tricia Smith, and we're coming to you from the Central Office Founders Room.
And we have the honor of presenting to you the national award winners from this previous academic year.
Previously announced were our regional and provincial award winners. And we wish our biggest congratulations to all of our chapters and award winners.
And each year you inspire all of us with all of your successes, and here are your national winners.
This chapter advisor is an asset for their chapter in many ways, but especially by their support to chapter officers. They attend chapter meetings regularly and always offer impactful information in an area of professional development, such as tips for networking, proper professional language, presentation tips, and group interactions. This chapter advisor is a great role model for diversity and inclusion within their university and within the chapter. They are always treating brothers with respect and offers to help in any way needed. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our National Chapter Advisor of the Year, Niati Kataria of South Central Province.
This district director continues to let the chapter find their own voice and character by always supporting their decisions, even if they weren't the solutions this DD proposed. They took the time to educate the chapter on fraternity bylaws, policies, officer responsibilities, and general operations to help them lay a strong foundation to build their chapter. This DD was always available and helped support the chapter in the successful completion of their probation terms. In addition to open lines of communication, this DD attended over 80% of the meetings and events held, even those continuing late into the evening. This DD supported their chapter by offering to help with award or scholarship applications, proofreading, and providing advice and more. This DD supported the Western Province by attending numerous collegiate and alumni chapter events. When it comes to assisting other chapters in their CMP success, this DD works with chapters from across the nation to help with annual financial reviews and budget advice. This DD demonstrates that membership extends beyond the collegiate years. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our National District Director of the Year, Richard Bonner of the Western Province.
The Outstanding Collegiate Relations Award is presented to the Alumni Chapter that most thoroughly integrates an aspect of collegiate relations into overall operations. This Alumni Chapter truly believes one of their main objectives is to assist the collegiate chapters to find fraternal and individual success. Many of the area collegiate chapters in Colony hosted a number of panels for professional events in which alumni from this chapter were participants. The Alumni Chapter also hosted a number of events with the collegiate members, including a community service event with Habitat for Humanity, professional events during their Adulting Series and Midwestern Region Conference, and social activities at monthly happy hours and at the Midwestern Region Picnic. Each school year, they work with chapters in the area to ensure they are able to have presenters for the Leadership Foundation, risk management, and new alumni orientation. And beyond that, they have alumni who participate in presentations on their careers and what they do. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our national winner, the Kansas City Alumni Chapter of the South Central Province.
This alumni chapter used the virtual life that the pandemic brought to their advantage. Through Zoom calls, they were able to hear different fun topics for professional events. After collaborating and planning with local chapters, this chapter hosted traditional events related to LinkedIn, along with fun subjects like the casino business, which is the backbone of the Nevada economy. Their goal with professional events was to do something different than most. This chapter engaged alumni in their area along with those around the country. This chapter focused on giving brothers who did not have the opportunity to be a speaker the opportunity to do so, helping collegiate chapters with their professional events, and also engaging them with a fun part of alumni life. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our national winner, Reno, Sierra Nevada.
This alumni chapter realized that helping their community during a troubled time would help them as individuals as well. They took the year to focus on service and held virtual events over Zoom in order to socialize while doing service. They created social media campaigns where they could spread awareness, and chapter brothers donated money, time, and talents. They maintained an officer position, named the Community Service Chair to help them in their goal to support the fraternity's national initiatives. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our national winner for Outstanding Service Award for an Alumni Chapter, the Long Beach Pier 9 Chapter of the Western Province.
This alumni chapter used a trying year to constantly move and work to be better for themselves, their chapter, and the community. This chapter has a laid-back culture, which proved to be beneficial. Brothers felt that they could come and feel welcomed. Through virtual avenues, this chapter was able to connect with collegiates all over and renewed their call to service and plan many fun service projects, all while they connected with other alumni chapters. This chapter hosted and attended events locally, nationally, and had brothers donate money to the Leadership Foundation, and many brothers spoke at collegiate events. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our national winner, Long Beach Pier 9.
This alumni chapter used their year to explore quality virtual events and understand how they could help people come together. This chapter is proud of their members for embracing change and adapting to the best of their ability. They have had brothers help expand their reach and host professional speaker and recruiting events with collegiate chapters in Hawaii. Other brothers reached out to fraternity corporate sponsors and their employers for a match to double their fundraising and community service efforts. This chapter even went from having to go out looking for new recruits to having collegiate brothers offer to host alumni cooking class events themselves. They've had a successful year, a robust calendar of events, and a solid numbers to be proud to report to the fraternity. But the biggest award for them was hearing brothers comment that this year's programming made it easier for them and their families to join events. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to the National Outstanding Alumni Chapter winner, the Los Angeles Alumni Chapter of the Western Province.
The Outstanding Scholastic Development Award is presented to the collegiate chapter that plans and implements the most effective and comprehensive program of scholastic development as evidenced by the academic achievements of its members. This chapter's scholastic development program is committed to promoting success inside and outside of the classroom. Among these successes are their internal education program and the maintenance of databases, like professor recommendations, study abroad portal, self-study resources, and the academic programs and opportunities. These opportunities offer all members the chance to grow and continue to learn. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to the national winner, Pi Psi at City University of New York, Baruch College.
This chapter faced many COVID road bumps, but were able to persevere and host a great year of alumni relations. This chapter featured notable alumni at every event in order to show just how far Delta Sigma alumni have gotten in the business world. Over Zoom, their Vice President of Alumni Relations hosted a recruiting event, asking alumni questions, showcasing how Delta Sigma Pi has impacted their alumni in their careers and after college. This chapter and students also organized a faculty appreciation event for the business professors at the end of the year. Many students came and had the opportunity to interact with professors and fellow students outside of class, which was a rarity this year. In addition, this chapter made use of an email-based newsletter to share information from the chapter to their alumni. The newsletters, which are sent monthly, they include notable events from the month, announce fundraisers or events to stay in constant communication with their alumni. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our National Outstanding Alumni Relations Award winner, the Delta Iota chapter at Florida Southern College.
The Outstanding Financial Operations Award is presented to the collegiate chapter that plans and implements the most effective and comprehensive program of fundraising and financial management. This chapter has been able to sustain themselves financially by preparing a budget that encompasses both national requirements as well as funds to facilitate events. This year, they were able to provide 2 scholarships to both a student that demonstrated financial need during the pandemic as well as in honor of a fallen brother. They have also been able to participate in community service efforts virtually by participating in or donating to the annual Ronald McDonald House Community Service Initiative, Feeding Texas, and the George Floyd Memorial Fund. This year, this chapter has been able to fundraise a significant amount of money that allowed them to function and provide gift cards for students who attended events, rewarding Brothers of the Month, and covering unexpected costs that affected their brothers. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to the national winner, Iota Rho at Howard University.
The Outstanding Professional Activities Award is presented to the chapter that plans and implements the most effective and comprehensive program of professional development focused on practical experience as well as business ethics and integrity. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic this year, this chapter had to shift gears a bit to make sure their themes for professional programming were not only suitable for a virtual environment, but also dynamic, engaging, interactive, and didn't add too much to the Zoom burnout. For one of their first events, this chapter decided to host an interactive panel along with their University Finance and Investment Club and a local chapter, which would be beneficial to the needs of the students. This event consisted of constant interaction between the panelists and the attendees on the topics of resumes, virtual networking, and interview tips. This year, this chapter was able to successfully put on events through Zoom and Google Meet's virtual platforms, as well as get in contact with companies and individuals that they may not have been able to reach due to the flexible virtual environment. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our National Outstanding Professional Activities winner, Iota Rho at Howard University.
This chapter worked collaboratively with their community and university to provide their brothers with numerous service opportunities. They strove to maintain a connection with other business organizations on campus through joint service activities. They were able to serve their community while simultaneously building a stronger relationship with other business organizations. Every semester, they would focus on providing their members with around 20 to 25 service opportunities. This chapter truly focused and pushed to make a difference in their community, even in a difficult year. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to the national winner, Kappa Tau at Clemson University.
The Most Improved Chapter Award is presented to the chapter of Delta Sigma Pi that exhibits the greatest degree of improvement in its general operations, professional programs, and membership support as compared to the prior academic year. This chapter has greatly increased efforts to improve chapter operations compared to the previous year. The Executive Committee of 2020 to 2021 worked hard to encourage brother participation in events, fundraising, and marketing for high recruitment turnout. While utilizing Discord, all events and announcements were posted so brothers could easily check to see what upcoming events were going to take place during the quarter. During fall recruitment, this chapter had a total number of 75 prospects attend, which is the highest number of prospects they have had in recent memory. Additionally, they hosted their first ever alumni panel, which was very insightful for brothers as well as all of the applicants. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to our National Most Improved Collegiate Chapter, Rho Sigma, at the University of California, Santa Barbara.
The Outstanding Collegiate Chapter Award is presented to the Collegiate Chapter through its actions and activities, best promoting the aims and ideals stated in the purpose of the fraternity. This year, this chapter was able to do something for the very first time. They completed all required and optional items in the chapter management program. They heavily engaged large numbers of brothers through on-campus programming, as well as regional and national Delta Sigma Pi events. This chapter had the greatest number of brothers attend the virtual lead events with 25 members present in the fall and 51 present in the spring. They hosted one of the best recruiting years in over a decade, drawing over 250 unique individuals to recruiting events and initiating 58 outstanding brothers over the course of this year. During the COVID-19 pandemic, this chapter was able to pivot and create meaningful chapter meetings over Zoom, maintaining over 80% attendance. This chapter hosted several regional events over the course of the year in order to help keep other chapters engaged. They also raised over $5,600, provided over 310 hours of community service, and held 16 professional events to help their brothers grow. They have made brother recognition a foundational value of their chapter by introducing aspects to chapter meetings like senior spotlight, acknowledgement moments, and other features on social media. On behalf of Delta Sigma Pi, I would like to say congratulations to the national winner, Gamma Psi at the University of Arizona.
Thank you so much for your time today.
And congratulations to all of our winners. We look forward to next year's awards.
Thank you everyone for participating in our LEAD program today. Even virtually, it is wonderful to be able to experience today together. The ability to celebrate our chapters and brothers, learning new ways on how to better ourselves, and seeing how we can all impact the future of Delta Sigma Pi and our own parts in setting a path to success with our strategic priorities. I'm Tricia Smith, past Grand President, and as we wrap up our closing session, I wanted to provide a few reminders and leave you with some closing thoughts. First, if you haven't already, check out Delta Sig University. Delta Sig University gives members access to all of Delta Sigma Pi's online learning opportunities in one easy, convenient place. When you go to dsp.org, search for Delta Sig University, where you can also view Delta Sig 101, which includes helpful new officer training modules, training for leadership, personal and professional development, and the Learn and Lead community. Be sure to also check out the LEAD app to see all of the upcoming webinars. I also encourage our alumni to participate in the Certified Delta Sig Leader Program, also known as CDL, which recognizes alumni members for their demonstrated leadership training and experience. And it received a big facelift recently. Just complete the e-learning sessions developed specifically for CDL to become certified. Today, we have more than 250 alumni who currently hold a CDL. As we close out today, I also want to point out a couple of special dates coming up. October 23rd is Make a Difference Day. Please join us in supporting this national service initiative by participating in any service event on or around October 23rd. Also, November 7th is Founders Day. So make plans to celebrate with your chapter's alumni members, alumni living in the area and across the world. And be sure to join us for a History of Ritual session with past Grand President Randy Holtz, followed by a special virtual helmet presentation. Delta Sigma Pi Leadership Foundation is hosting our first Founders Day Challenge to raise money for chapter leadership funds. The campaign will run November 7th and 8th, and we are inviting alumni and chapters to participate. Alumni members can volunteer to be an ambassador, spreading the word about the challenge via email and their social channels. And chapters are encouraged to raise money by reaching out to alumni, parents, and friends. Just visit dsp.org for more information. President's Academy will be January 14th through the 16th. This year's virtual event will provide attendees the opportunity to network with other chapter presidents while receiving specialized leadership training. More details will be provided to chapter leaders very soon, so watch your email box so your chapter can be represented. And again, congratulations to our regional, provincial, and national award winners. Through a challenging year, you continue to shine, work hard, and inspire others. And to our Chapter Collegiate of the Year nominees, congratulations. I want to remind all our Chapter Collegians of the Year, you have until November 15th to submit your application for consideration at the regional, provincial, and even national levels. One of the key aspects of the Collegiate of the Year program, in addition to the Pearl and Ruby Badge and Cash Award, is the fact that the National Collegiate of the Year serves on the fraternity board of directors for 2 years, having an opportunity to make a significant impact on our organization. We all entered a pandemic last year with worry, stress, and a lot of change. But what has come out of that is inspiring. We have chapters and volunteer leaders who continue leading the charge, where Delta Sigs made an impact not just on their own chapter, but also helped other brothers and the community around them. And we were able to hear some of those accomplishments through the award presentations this week. We also found opportunities within our organization to become better and stronger together. It has been an inspiring 18 months as we work to transition more fully back to an amazing experience and memories we make at our in-person events. Which brings me to my final reminder. Be sure to register for spring provincial conferences, where we will be back in person again. Visit the website dsp.org for additional details on dates and to register. Thank you again for participating today. We truly hope you enjoyed the program. And a very big thank you to our central office staff, all of our volunteer presenters and facilitators,
Hey everybody, it's Finn and Corey. We just wanted to say thanks for joining today. Congratulations to all of our winners, and I look forward to seeing all of you at the networking session. Finn is skipping a nap to be there, so we are looking forward to seeing all of you attend that. And once again, thanks for being here today. Hopefully it was beneficial. If you have any ideas or need anything else from us, don't feel afraid to reach out. Thanks everybody. Take care. See you in a little bit.
Thanks everyone. See you soon. Thanks for joining.